We live in a country where people can hate. People can say things about other people. And that's okay. Hate me. It's okay. It's one of the only countries in the world where you can. So hate me if you want to. The investigative collaboration is something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. There's no way we could possibly chronicle it or articulate it or write about it or anything. There's no way we could ever do that. We are human beings, and there were mistakes made. But there was never a mistake made that we knew was wrong when we did it. I'll crawl across shards of hot glass for Jerry Holman. Jerry Holman is not a liar.
Welcome to Amber Light, where we keep that porch light shining brightly in the night for justice for those who are victimized by corruption and power and criminals. Today's topic, the incorruptible Delphi Police. Indeed, just ask them. They are incorruptible. Just to show an example of how incorruptible they are, here, check this out.
Breaking news again, Delphi's chief of police has resigned.
A local judge accused him of lying under oath, and Anna Darling is explaining more on what they say happened. Anna?
Yeah, good morning. Carroll County Special Judge Troy Hawkins says Chief Nate LaMar was dishonest when trying to justify a warrantless car search during a drug arrest last year. Here's what happened according to court documents. Chief LaMar pulled a man over for having a blue license plate light instead of a white one last January. LaMar found the driver had a history of arrests for drug possession and dealing meth. Body camera footage showed he noticed a black locked container in the car. The report says a canine did not alert to drugs in the car. The chief is heard telling the driver to wait in a nearby gas station and the car would be impounded. After the driver is gone, LaMar is then reported to have searched the car without a warrant. He found meth in that container and arrested the man. During a bench trial in September, LaMar testified. When asked if he suspected the defendant of drug activity, LaMar said no. Judge Hawkins wrote in an order that LaMar should have recognized the potential for drugs given his training and experience. He said LaMar knew he did not have enough evidence to get a search warrant, but searched the car anyway. The driver was found not guilty, and again, Chief LaMar has resigned this morning. Mayor Cameron Rates will begin searching for his replacement immediately.
From the Fox 59 website, there's a quote from the City of Delphi, a statement. City of Delphi statement. Quote, Mayor Yates accepted the resignation and discussed temporary assignments with the Delphi police officers. The mayor will begin search for a new chief of police immediately. Mayor Yates will work closely with officers and the city council members to evaluate the direction of the search for a new chief of police, unquote. The article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just real quickly, LaMar was accused in a recent court filing of being dishonest and misleading while testifying about the drug arrest of a local man during a traffic stop. The false testimony led to the man being found not guilty. There's a lot here, but to summarize, really kind of at a high level, what's happened here, the chief of police, Nate LaMar, let me say that again. The chief of police, Nate LaMar, he's not a trooper or an officer or a lower level officer here. This is the chief of police, a veteran who knows better. Pulled over a man because there was a blue light on his license plate. The man pulled into a gas station. LaMar saw something in the car that made him suspicious. He went back to his own car. His body cam shows that he was researching this man's criminal history. Turns out The man that he pulled over had a criminal history of drug use and other things. No saint by any means at all, but in that particular moment, this is beside the point. His history is beside the point. In this particular moment, he's simply driving through town and he has a blue light on his license plate. He gets pulled over, and Officer LaMar, Police Chief LaMar sees something and gets suspicious, starts searching his record. Sure enough, the guy has a history of drugs. He has suspicion of drugs in the car. He calls for a canine unit, tells the guy, don't sweat it. You go wait in the gas station. We're going to tow your car. He has a policy of impounding cars. This guy, by the way, I should have said, there was a problem with his driver's license and insurance, so LaMar was going to impound his car. Once the man that he pulled over got into the gas station, without any search warrant whatsoever, under the auspices of taking inventory for a car that is to be impounded, Police Chief LaMar conducted a search and sure enough found some drugs. So the man was arrested, but you know the story here. The charges were dropped because Police Chief LaMar violated his due process. I found something very interesting out on Reddit. Now, recognize you have to take these kinds of things as non-factual. They are posts by the general public and may be unvalidated. However, I found this very interesting. This is written by someone who calls themselves Final Republic 1776, and the title is Delphi Police Harassment. This was from 9 months ago. Over the past 3 days, I have had police either at my door or pulling me over 5 separate times. This is obviously excessive, and I'm sure you're thinking I've done something to warrant this, but no. Every single time was for a BS reason, like a broken down car in the backyard. The car does run, in fact. I just have 2 kids and prefer to take my 2-door very often. Here's an edit. I genuinely am fearful. They drove slowly past my house, and today they held me in a maliciously long traffic stop with my crying infant in the back. Edit 2. The officers involved have been Nate LaMar and some others. I'm not going to read their names. I've witnessed one of them drinking and driving. I've witnessed LaMar hanging around pedophiles. Everything surrounding the local police is suspicious, and I wish more people would take notice. There are some responses. I'm going to scroll down just a bit. This person talks about a problem that he has with a neighbor. Somebody suggested to him that it could be the neighbors calling the police on him. He says here, he or she, I guess it could be a woman, I don't know. Final response 1776 says, I absolutely do have a crazy neighbor, though. He's a registered sex offender and got pretty upset when we told him we don't want him cutting through our backyard. We ended up trespassing him, and things have been rocky ever since. Somebody replies to them, did they arrest him for the trespassing incident? Final Republic 1776 says, no, LaMar is friendly with the neighbor. It's really very odd to me. Somebody else says, that's messed up. Now, again, this all has to be verified. I mean, this is just out on the internet, so you can't necessarily take it as, complete truth. But it's reflective of some of the conversations that are happening around the community about the incorruptible Delphi Police. You probably think that I hate the police, but really nothing is further from the truth. I suspect that most police officers In fact, I hope that most police officers are really good human beings that are just trying to serve and protect the community. They become police officers because they want to be, people who help people at their worst moments. We need police. We value police. But the point that I try to make here again and again on this channel is we have way too much corruption and abuses of power. I don't know what the solution is, but we can't really say that the Delphi police are incorruptible. I started the video off with then Superintendent Doug Carter talking about, hey, look, we're human. Yeah, okay, I buy that. Yeah, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. Sure, yeah. And you called them mistakes. Yeah, we're going to make mistakes. He even said, in his commentary, that we have never made an error intentionally. Do we just take that at face value? After everything that we've seen in the Richard Allen case? It gets better. Don't worry. Delphi has now appointed a new chief of police. From the Carroll County Comment, published today, actually, Friday, February 21st, 2025. Steve Mullen appointed new chief of police for the city of Delphi. In a notable move, Mayor Cameron Yates announced Friday, February 19th, the appointment of Steve Mullen as the new chief of police for the Delphi Police Department. With more than 40 years' experience in law enforcement, Mullen is set to assume his new role on March the 3rd. Quote, bringing extensive knowledge and a deep commitment to serving the community, unquote, Mayor Yates says. Mayor Yates is confident in Mullen's capabilities. And the article goes on. Not going to read it all about his history and heritage and all this stuff. A little bit lower on in the article, the Delphi prosecutor Nick McClelland writes, Steve Mullen is a devout Christian. When the defense said he lied, that affected him in a personal way. To call him a liar, if you know him, is just inappropriate. To say he lied, cheated, would steal, or is corrupt is inappropriate, McClelland said. He is one of the most honest guys I know. There is no other guy more devout than he is, and to call him corrupt, that cuts him to the core, because he is not that person. Nick McClelland, it sounds like, would crawl over shards of hot glass to defend Steve Mullen. Steve Mullen used to be the chief of police of Delphi. In fact, he was chief of police back in 2017 when the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German happened. He was the man at the helm, leading the charge on the initial investigation. One of the things that we've learned through Richard Allen's trial, one of the things that has been uncovered, is that under Steve Mullen's watch and tenure, those critical days, we're all familiar with that, again, that term, the first 48, right? There's even a television show about that talks about how, hey, look, in any homicide case, the first 48 hours is critical time. But during those first weeks, in fact, 70 days under Steve Mullen's watch, critical investigative material came up missing. I'm not going to say it was deleted, but there's reason to believe that perhaps so. Oh, but he's not corrupt, McClelland says.
Spend too long fighting monsters. Got to be careful you don't become a monster yourself. This town, these folks running this town, making these decisions, they need to look real deep. And now we know. Now we know why they're hiding it. Now we know why they want nobody with the 24 of us for whom they are making it as difficult as possible to get in that courtroom door. Now we know why we're the only ones who are seeing it.